Okay, welcome to another evening of Gentle Flow to Nidra. My name is Jess, and this class is brought to you by Elevate Yoga in Denver, Colorado. Just want to start by saying I'm really glad you're all here tonight. It's good to see your faces / names. Let's all start in a comfortable seat. Maybe that's on your bottom, maybe you're sitting back on your heels. Whatever a comfortable seat looks like to you. Start to sink heavy into the hips. Let the crown of the head reach up towards the sky. So there might just be the slightest tuck of the chin back, just so the back of the neck stays nice and long. Let the shoulder blades relax down the back. Notice if you're holding any tension in your jaw, try to release that. Notice if you're holding tension in the belly. See if you can release some of that tension. Take a big inhale through the nose. And exhale, let's stick out our tongue and go lion's breath. We're going to do that twice more. So inhale through the nose, and then when you exhale, you're just going to stick your tongue out and breathe out your mouth. So inhale, big, long breath in through the nose. Exhale, lion's breath. One more time. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, lion's breath. Go ahead and seal up the lips. Start to breathe through the nose. Pulling the inhale all the way into the belly, noticing if you can feel the belly expand with your inhale. Feel the roots press down. Feel yourself contract on the exhale. So with each inhale, you feel your body kind of pressing out, taking up space. And as you exhale, you come back into yourself. Contract. See if you can begin to elongate your exhales and your inhales. Maybe you practice an ujjayi breath. You can hear the breath. It's like you sort of close off the back of the throat. If you're not sure how to do that ujjayi breath, imagine you're fogging up a mirror and then breathe like that, but with the mouth closed. And let the sound of your breath sort of anchor you to your mat. Sometimes when our eyes are all the way closed, it's really easy to start to follow thought patterns. So maybe you open your eyes just 1/10, just barely open them as you inhale and exhale if you're having trouble focusing on your breath. Keep coming back to the sound of your breath. Keep coming back to that idea of expanding and contracting. So I'll take a big inhale together. And as you exhale, just gently drop the chin down to the chest. Let the head hang heavy like a bowling ball. But let the shoulders stay back and down So you don't want to round too much in the upper back. Try to stay sitting up tall, spine erect, but the head dropping down any amount. Take a big breath into the upper back. And release, exhale. With your inhale, gently lift the head back up. And as you exhale, drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Bring your left fingertips out to your side. Let the finger reach your arm as far as you can so that the fingertips still touch the earth. Good. You can stay right here. Or if you want, you can take your right palm, bring it up and over the head, and just gently press down on the left ear. So your left fingertips will be extended. Good. Take one more big inhale wherever you're at. And release that right hand. Let the head come back up through center. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So this time we're going to let our left ear drop down to the left shoulder. Right fingertips will extend long, touching the earth. Good. And then your left hand, if you want, will come up and over the head. Bring it down. Good. Just giving yourself a little extra pressure if it feels good. You might be pretty tight on the side of the neck. I know I am, so I really probably don't even need this extra pressure. Pretty tight already. Take a big breath into the right side of the neck. Good, and full exhale. Start to release that left hand down. And as you inhale, gently bring the head back up through center. Good, now from here, we're going to start to bring our right elbow down to the right side. Now, if when you do this, your left butt cheek pops up, see if you can reground it. And if that's just a little too tight to reground, then come up onto the hand. So you give yourself a little more height so you can keep both sits bones grounded. So you'll just find what's good for you. If you can be on the elbow, cool. If not, no big deal. Pop up onto your right hand. So from here, we're just going to breathe into that left side body. Take your left arm, spin it out in front, and then up and over the left ear. So the palm faces down. Good. Your left thumb is facing behind you. Take a big inhale into the left side body. And as you exhale, let that hand float forward, just straight out in front. And then as you inhale, come back up and over. Exhale, hand floats forward. Inhale, up and over. Do it one more time. Exhale, float forward. And then inhale, up and over. This time, see if you can really spin the heart up towards the sky. Good. Exhale, we're going to let that left hand come forward. You can start to bring the torso forward so it'll come through center. And we'll just sit all the way up. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So this time, if you can, bring that left forearm, left elbow down. If when you do this, that right hip pops up, try to ground it. If it doesn't want to ground, give yourself a little more height by pressing into the hand. So wherever you're at, either on the forearm or the hand, take a big inhale into the right side body. Good, full exhale. Let's bring that right arm up and over the right ear. So we're stretching through the right fingertips. Good, take a big full inhale here. And as you exhale, just let that arm float forward. Keep pressing into the forearm, good. Inhale, come back. Arm reaching up and over. Exhale, float it forward. Inhale, up and over. Last one, we'll exhale. Bring that arm forward, straight out in front. Good. And then inhale, up and over. Maybe spin the heart a little more towards the sky. Good. And this time as you exhale, just start to round that right shoulder down towards the earth. And then move through center. And then lift up. Good. Bring our hands to our knees. We're going to do a little seated cat-cow. So on an inhale, you're going to rock forward on the hips, press the heart forward. Good. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And as you exhale, rock back. Hold on to the knees. Pull the back of the heart back. Tuck the chin into the chest. Good. Opening the back body. And then inhale. Open through the front body. Close down the eyes if it feels good, and you can move with your own breath. We'll just flow here for a moment, inhaling as you open the front body, exhaling as you open the back body. Moving with intention and awareness to how you're moving, what part of the breath you're moving at. Go ahead and do 2 more rounds. After your second round, we'll all just come back to a neutral seat. And then from here, you might turn sideways on your mat, the same orientation that I am on mine. You don't have to, but we're going to go into wide legs. So just bring your legs as wide as they go. They might not go this wide. They might go way wider. It doesn't matter. Just as wide as they go. No need to crank them super wide or anything like that. So just sit up nice and tall and start to flex the feet. So you'll start to pull the toes back towards your face or towards the knees. Good. And when you do that, you'll feel an engagement through the knees and the quads. Start to press down through the quads. Sit up nice and tall. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, start to hinge forward any amount. And you may not need to hinge forward. This might be a lot of sensation that you're already breathing into. But if you have it in you, see if you can hinge forward from the hips, right? So you'd hinge forward with a flat back, any amount. And this is early to be doing a stretch like this, so no need to crank down, no need to prove anything. Just feel in the back of your legs. That's all we're doing. Take a big breath into the belly. Let that breath melt down into the back of the legs. And exhale. One more good breath, just like that. Big, slow inhale into the belly, all the way down to the heels. And then big, even slower exhale. Maybe after being here, you feel a little more open. You can go maybe a centimeter further. Take one more inhale. Slow exhale. Like you're letting air out of a balloon. Good. If you have gone forward any amount, just start to sit yourself back up. Bring your hands underneath the knees. Give them a little guidance as you pull the legs back together. We're all going to find ourselves in tabletop pose. So hands and knees. Spread the fingers nice and wide underneath the shoulders. Middle finger faces forward. Big starfish hands. Really start to press the earth away. Knees are underneath your hips. Tops of the feet are down on the mat. Maybe even press into the tops of the feet. Pull navel towards spine so you're engaged through the core. Maybe even tucking the pelvis just a little, not full cat pose, but just enough that you're sort of pulling the hips in towards the midline. Good. Press through the hands. Take a big breath. Take a big exhale. From here, we're going to kick the feet back, find ourselves in plank. So you're still pressing through the hands, that same activation that you had in table. Pressing the earth away. You might be doming up a little bit in the back of the heart. Crown of the head reaches forward. Heels reach back. Create a little bit of heat. Pull the belly button towards the spine. Take one more breath here. And then exhale, let the knees come down. Bring the big toes to touch. Let the knees come wide, about as wide as the mat. Send the hips towards the heels, finding a child's pose. Letting the forehead come down to meet the earth. Reaching the arms forward, reaching the sits bones back towards the heels. Maybe, if you want to keep this a little more active, come up onto the fingertips of the hands and really reach through the arms. And a little more opening in the armpit. Big inhale along the side bodies. Full exhale, melting the forehead, melting the heart. Good. Inhale. We're going to come out of child's pose, back into table. Fingers are spread wide. This time we're going to curl the toes under. We're going to make our way towards downward dog. So we'll start to press the earth away, start to pull belly button towards spine. Gently lift the knees, but keep a good bend in the legs as you press your heart towards your thighs. Shoulder blades roll away from one another, broad across the upper back, long spine. Send the hips up high, and then let your heels fall any amount. See if you can imagine coming up onto your tiptoes and making your hips go up a little higher, and then releasing the heels without releasing the hips. Good. Big inhale here. Big exhale. Inhale, let's look forward at the hands. And as you exhale, you're going to tiptoe your feet towards your hands, finding a forward fold. Bend in the knees as much as you need to. You can even bring the feet a little bit wider than hip distance, just to allow some space for the torso. If you can bring the belly to thighs, do that. Let the head hang heavy. If it's available, if it feels good, grab opposite elbow with opposite hand and just hang heavy ragdoll pose, letting gravity pull the spine in the opposite direction that it's been going all day. Big inhale into the upper back, lower belly. Go ahead and release the hands. If you're holding onto your elbows, if your feet are wider than your hips, start to heel toe them a little closer together. We'll start to press through the legs so the legs straighten. Press through the feet. Hands will slide up. Find our upper thigh bone. Reach the crown of the head forward so we're in a halfway lift with a flat back. Belly button pulls towards spine. Good. Big inhale here. Exhale, bend in the knees, melt forward over the legs. Good. From here, plant your hands next to your feet. Step your right foot back. Good. Drop down to your right knee. We're in a lunge, low lunge. Come up onto the fingertips, walk the hands back underneath the shoulders so you can lift up through the heart. Big inhale here. Take another big inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to send your hips back over your right knee. Your left toes are going to lift up. So you'll be on the heel of your left foot. Your hips don't come all the way back to your heels. They stay over that right knee. Good. That front leg is extended. Keep pulling the left toes back. And then keep pulling that left hip back. Good. So you're sort of trying to square the hips a little more towards the front. So the right hip will cut forward, left hip will cut back. Good. With an inhale, let's come back into that lunge. So walk it forward, lift up through the heart, sink low through the hips. And as you exhale, pull back, half split, just like we did before. We'll do that one more time. Inhale forward. And exhale, pull back, half split. Holding over that front leg any amount. Inhale, pull forward, find your low lunge. Curl the back toes under, and then lift up through the back knee. So press through the back heel. Good. Keep low in the hips. See if you can plant the hands and then bring your left foot back slowly to meet your right, back in a plank. Good. From here, crown of the head reaches forward, heels reach back. Gently start to pull the belly button up towards the spine and lift the hips, find a down dog. Good. Press into your thumb and your pointer finger. Try to take a little pressure out of the wrist. With an inhale, look forward. With an exhale, start to march the feet towards the hands, finding that forward fold. Let the head hang heavy. With your next inhale, we're going to find a halfway lift. Slide the hands up the legs, pull belly button towards the spine, reach the crown of the head forward. Sits bones reach back. Exhale, release and fold all the way back down. Good. From here, plant the hands. This time we're going to slide that left foot back. Drop down to the left knee. Make sure that your right knee isn't coming past your right ankle. That should be on top of your right ankle. Good. Sink low through the hips. Take a big inhale. And a full, steady exhale. Feeling that left side open up. One more full inhale here. Exhale, we pull back into that half split. Hips come back over the left knee. Right toes pop up. Heel stays grounded. Front leg straightens any amount. And then maybe fold over that front leg. And with your inhale, walk it forward. Find the lunge again. So lift up through the heart. Sink low through the hips. Exhale. Pull back through the hips. And you can release the heart down. Straightening through that front leg. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, half split. Pull back through the toes. Good. Inhale, lunge. I lost count, so we're going to do one more half split. Exhale, half split. Inhale, come forward. Curl the back toes under, lift up through the back leg, press through the back heel, slide the right foot back to meet the left. Find yourself in plank. And with an exhale, drop down to the knees. Lift the feet, cross the ankles. From here, elbows hug straight back as you gently lower all the way down to the belly. Once you're there, you can release the feet back to the mat. Tops of the feet press into the mat. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Roll the shoulders back and down. Squeeze the elbows together. And with an inhale, start to lift up through the back of the heart. Reaching through the toes, pressing to the tops of the feet and the hips. Exhale, release. One more time, just like that. Reach through the toes, press down through the feet. Inhale, squeeze elbows and shoulder blades towards one another, lift the back of the heart. Exhale, release it down. Take a big inhale as you rest on your belly here. Fill up the back body. And slowly release. We'll all make our way onto our back from here, so you'll just flip over. Nice and slow. Good. Once you're on your back, just go ahead and pull the knees in towards the belly. And then maybe pull the nose up towards the knees. Squeeze yourself into a little ball. And then gently release the shoulders, neck, and head all the way back down. Bring the soles of the feet together. Reach between the knees for the outer edges of your feet. Reclined butterfly. If the outer edges of your feet feel too far away, you can always grab your ankles or your shins. You can hang out right here in reclined butterfly if this feels really good, but you can also find happy baby or half happy baby. Start to let the soles of the feet look up at the sky as the knees pull down towards the armpits. If full happy baby feels really intense, you can just do one leg at a time. Try to keep the low back pressing down. Take a big inhale. And exhale, release your butterfly or your happy baby. Pull the knees back into the chest. Good. Reach the feet straight up into the sky. Twirl the ankles in one direction, and then try to twirl them in the other direction. Good. Pull the knees back down into the belly. Plant the feet. And then bring the feet wide as the mat. Let the knees knock together. You can bring the hands onto the ribs or the belly. And then just let both knees fall to the left with an exhale. And inhale, gently roll back up. Kind of a massage for the glutes if you move it nice and slow. Exhale, let the knees fall to the right. And move with your own slow, deliberate breath, inhaling as you roll back through center. Exhaling as the knees fall to one side. Back and forth. Nice and slow. Do one more round on both sides. From here, start to slide the left foot out towards the left bottom corner of the mat. Start to slide the right foot out to the right bottom corner of the mat. You can keep your hands on your belly, or you can open the arms up, palms face up, away from the body. Take a big inhale, let the belly fill up with air. And a big exhale. Feel the torso sink back in on itself. So from here, we're going to get ready for the Yoga Nidra portion of class. You can feel free to stay right where you're at, or you can grab a blanket or a pillow or both. I sort of always suggest a blanket unless you run really hot. Your body temperature will cool down quite a bit. So as you begin to get ready for Yoga Nidra, make sure that you're lying down in Shavasana, the dead man's pose. Make yourself as comfortable as possible. Keep your feet apart. Let them flop a little sideways. Arms slightly away from the body, with the palms of your hands facing upwards. Adjust your blanket, your clothes, your position, so that you can practice Yoga Nidra without moving and with no physical discomfort. Please close your eyes and keep them closed. The practice of Yoga Nidra is the act of hearing and the act of feeling. These are the only important factors. In Yoga Nidra, you function on the level of awareness plus the level of listening. In dreams, you have no control. But in Yoga Nidra, you are the creator of the dream. Say to yourself mentally, I will not sleep. I shall only listen to the voice. Give yourself some time to become calm and steady. Take a deep breath, and as you breathe in, feel a calm spreading throughout the body. And as you are breathing out, say to yourself mentally, relax. Begin to become aware of sounds in the distance. Become aware of the most distant sounds that you can hear. Let your sense of hearing operate like a radar beam, searching out distant sounds and following them for a few seconds. Move your attention from sound to sound without attempting to identify the source. Gradually bring your attention to closer sounds, to sounds inside this room. Begin to develop an awareness of your room. Without opening your eyes, visualize the four walls, the ceiling, the floor, your body lying on the floor. See your body lying on the floor. Become aware of the existence of your physical body lying on the floor. Total awareness of your body lying in perfect stillness. Your body is lying on the floor. Develop an awareness of all the physical meeting points between your body and the floor. Become aware of the natural breath. Become aware of the deep, natural, spontaneous breath. But don't concentrate too hard, for this will interfere with the natural process. Just keep listening to me and know that you are breathing. We'll now begin the rotation of consciousness through the different centers of the body. As quickly as possible, the awareness is to jump from point to point. Please repeat mentally the name of each part after me and simultaneously become aware of that part. The practice always begins with the right hand. The right hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, the wrist, the lower arm, the elbow, the upper arm, the shoulder, the armpit, the waist, the hip, the right thigh, knee, calf muscle, ankle, heel, sole of the right foot, top of the foot, the right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, the left hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, the palm of the hand, the back of the hand, the wrist, the lower arm, the elbow, the upper arm, the shoulder, armpit, waist, hip, left thigh, knee, calf muscle, ankle, heel, sole of the left foot, top of the left foot, the left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, the right shoulder, the left shoulder, the right shoulder blade, the left shoulder blade, the right glute, the left glute, the spine, the whole back together, the top of the head, the forehead, the right eyebrow, the left eyebrow, the eyebrow center, the right eyelid, the left eyelid, the right eye, the left eye, the right ear, the left ear, the right cheek, the left cheek, the nose, tip of the nose, right nostril, left nostril, upper lip, lower lip, chin, jaw, throat, right collarbone, left collarbone, right chest, left chest, middle of the chest, navel, abdomen, lower abdomen, the whole right leg, the whole left leg, both legs together, the whole right arm, the whole left arm, both arms together, the whole back, the whole front, the whole head together, legs, arms, back, front, head together, the whole body together, the whole body together. Develop a homogeneous awareness of the whole body and become aware of the space occupied by the body. Become aware of the body and the space that is occupied by your body. Body and space. Become aware of the whole body and the floor. The whole body in relation to the floor. And at the same time, become aware of the meeting points between the body and the floor. These are subtle physical points between the body and the floor. Feel the meeting points between the back of your head and the floor. Shoulder blades and the floor. Elbows, hands, and the floor. The glutes and the calves and the floor. The heels and the floor. Have an awareness of all the meeting points between the body and the floor. The sensation of all these points simultaneously, evenly. Go on and feel these points clearly and distinctly, but do not sleep. Switch your attention to the eyelids. Feel the narrow line of meeting between the upper and lower eyelids. Feel the sharp points where they meet. Intensify your awareness between the eyelids. And now the lips. Center your attention on the line between the lips, the space between the lips. From the lips, we go to the breath. Draw your attention to the natural ingoing and outgoing breath. Feel the breath move along the passage from the navel to the throat. On inhalation, it rises from the throat to the navel. On exhalation, it descends from the throat to the navel. Be completely aware of this, but do not try to force the breath. Maintain your awareness and at the same time, begin to count your breaths backwards as follows. I am breathing in 27. I am breathing out 27. I am breathing in 26. I am breathing out 26. I am breathing in 25. I am breathing out 25. Count to yourself mentally as you follow the rise and fall of your breath. Should you become distracted and lose your place, just start back at 27. The breathing is slow and relaxed. Just continue counting. Now leave your counting and begin to awaken the feeling of heaviness in the body. A feeling of heaviness. Become aware of heaviness in every single part of the body. You are feeling so heavy that you are sinking into the floor. Now begin to manifest an experience of lightness in the body. Manifest a sensation of lightness and weightlessness in all parts of the body. Your body feels so light that it seems to be floating away from the floor. Now begin to experience the sensation of cold. Awaken the experience of a bitter cold in the body. Imagine you are walking on a cold floor on a winter morning. Your feet feel very cold, and you feel cold all over. Now begin to awaken a sensation of heat. Awaken the experience of heat. The whole body is hot. The whole body is hot. You feel hot all over. Remember the feeling of heat in the summer when you're out in the sun with no shade. Heat all over the body, heat all around the body. Begin to withdraw your mind and concentrate on the space in front of your closed eyes. Imagine before you a transparent screen through which you can see infinite space, a space that extends as far as the eyes can see. Concentrate on this dark space and become aware of any phenomena that manifests within it. Whatever you see is the manifesting state of your mind. Continue your awareness of this space, but do not become involved. Practice a detached awareness only. Imagine that it's very early in the morning, still dark, and you are walking through the hills, climbing up towards some mountains. You are alone. You are walking east, and if you look back, you can see a crescent-shaped moon low in the sky. Soon the sun will rise over the mountains ahead of you. Far below, in a valley, the lights of a small town twinkle through an early morning mist. The track twists back and forth on the side of a steep slope. It winds between huge boulders and over bridges suspended across deep chasms. A gap between two hills gives a glimpse of a huge, snow-covered mountain ahead. The pale sky behind it heralds the dawn. You climb up through snow. It makes a crunching sound as you break the surface and sink in. A glacier lies across your path. There are creaks and groans of moving ice as you quickly move across. Near the top of the mountain, it becomes very cold. Winds howl around your body and snatch at your clothes. Snow and ice cling to your shoes. You reach the top, and a magnificent scene reveals itself before your eyes. To the east, a vast range of snow-covered peaks and dark valleys. To the west, hills leading to rolling plains and the sea. Intensify your imagination and visualize this scene. See the sun rise like a golden ball in the east, scattering rays of golden light off snow that dazzles your eyes. Sweep your eyes around the sky. To the west, it is still gray Above you, blue. In the east, a delicate pink as it nears the sun. Watch the sunlight strike the tops of mountains and move down their sides. Deep valleys emerge as the shadows retreat. You sit with legs crossed and contemplate this grand scene, the dawn of a new day. Let yourself experience this for some time. Let your mind flow freely with this experience. Begin to bring your awareness back to the dark space you see in front of your closed eyes. Watch the darkness that you see before you very carefully and with detachment. Rest your mind in this warm and friendly darkness. If any subtle phenomena manifest, colors or patterns, simply take note. If thoughts occur, let them come and go, but continue watching the dark space. Continue this with detached awareness. Begin to become aware of your breathing. Become aware of your natural breathing. Become aware of your state of relaxation. Develop an awareness of your physical existence. Become aware of your arms and legs and your body lying stretched out on the floor. Become aware of the meeting points between your body and the floor. Develop an awareness of your room, walls, ceiling, noises inside your room, noises outside. Take your mind out and become completely external. Lie quietly for a few moments and keep your eyes closed. Begin to gently and slowly move your body and stretch yourself. And take your time. When you are sure that you are awake, sit up slowly with closed eyes. Begin to rub the palms of the hands together, creating heat. Gently place your warm palms over your eyes. Take a big breath in and out. Gently begin to open your eyes behind your hands, letting in a little light. And slowly release the hands down away from the face. Your yoga nidra practice is complete. Namaste. Thanks for being here.